Study smarter, not harder. Proven strategies. You don't have to be a genius to get good grades at school, you just have to work hard and use the right strategies. With these tips, you'll be studying smarter in no time. 1. Sleep properly. In our world of 24-hour convenience, it's easy to think that the more you cram in and the longer you stay awake, the more work you will get done. However, a substantial amount of research has shown that this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, one study showed that lack of sleep can impact your memory by causing an increase in false memories and decreasing your ability to distinguish between real memories and false memories. This means that if you're not getting enough sleep at night, or worse yet, if your circadian rhythm is off due to daylight savings time or other factors, you may remember things differently than what actually happened. Another study found that people were significantly less creative after being kept awake all night than when they had slept normally during their waking hours. That same study also found an increased risk for accidents among test subjects who hadn't had enough sleep before performing tasks like driving cars or operating heavy machinery. Yes, even something as simple as driving. 2. Create the right environment. Now that you've got your study plan and schedule in place, it's time to create the right environment. In other words, set yourself up for success by getting rid of distractions so that you can focus on studying. Here are some things you can do. Turn off notifications on your phone. Don't let anyone or anything distract you from studying. Turn off the TV and computer. You don't want anything competing for your attention when working hard to learn something new. Get away from other people who might be distracting, and try not to let them distract you. If possible, go somewhere quiet where no one will bother or distract you while studying, preferably alone. Or at least with someone who won't be too chatty while they're also trying to study, like maybe a friend who lives far away. 3. Break everything down. To study smarter, not harder, it's important to break the material you want to learn into smaller chunks and then break those chunks into even smaller ones until you have a manageable piece of information. You might start with a chapter and then pull it apart into sections. Those sections could be further deconstructed into subsections. Those subsections could have points within them, which are then broken down into terms or definitions that can each be defined with their own explanation. This process of breaking everything down helps you focus on one thing at a time, building your knowledge from the ground up instead of trying to comprehend something as a whole before moving on to another topic entirely. You may also want to use other tools in addition to this method of breaking things down. Using a study schedule will help keep track of how much time has been spent studying versus how much more needs reviewing. Using flashcards can help internalize the information being presented by making cards with key points from the chapters and answering questions about them later on. Creating mind maps allows for visual representation without necessarily needing all the text, which may be overwhelming. 4. Study in short bursts and take plenty of breaks. The brain works best when it's constantly challenged, so make sure you're taking regular breaks. Studies show that working for extended periods of time can lead to mental fatigue, which makes it harder to concentrate and recall facts. It's better to study in short bursts and take frequent breaks throughout the day. If you find yourself struggling to focus after only 30 minutes or so of studying, take a 5-minute break before diving back into the material again. You'll be more alert when you return. Don't work for more than 4 hours straight without taking a break either. This will help prevent burnout as well as eye strain from staring at your computer screen all day long. 5. Work with a study partner, or more than one. Studying with friends can be a great way to stay motivated and keep your mind engaged. It's also a good way to get feedback on your work, which can be helpful when you're trying to learn something new. A study partner can also give you an idea of the time commitment required for studying for the test, since they have likely already taken it, or at least know someone who has. This will help you determine if there's enough time in your schedule to study effectively, and it may even motivate you to make some changes if necessary. If all this sounds like too much work, consider joining a group where members help each other prepare for exams through online forums or classes in person. 6. Use the Pomodoro technique for better productivity. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method that works by focusing on one task at a time. The way it's supposed to work is that you set a timer for 25 minutes, then focus on completing one task during those 25 minutes before taking a 5-minute break. After 4 of these cycles, you should take a longer break. There are also some things you should do when using the Pomodoro technique. Only spend time working on tasks that are important or interesting. Don't check your phone or email during this period unless an emergency occurs. If you're having trouble focusing, try doing something else productive instead, exercise or meditate. 7. Teach other people. Teaching others is one of the best ways to learn. By teaching others, you will have to learn more material than if you were just studying alone. You can also teach while studying by having someone else listen as you read through your notes and summaries. If they are interested in what they hear, it's likely that their curiosity will make them want to learn more on their own time, which means that they'll be able to study better. You should try teaching yourself as well. Teach yourself about something new by looking up videos or reading articles on the subject and explaining it back out loud as if someone else were listening. This helps strengthen your understanding of the topic at hand and makes it easier for you to remember it later because now there's another person involved. 8. Listen to audio lectures while doing housework, driving or exercising. While there are many ways to learn, one of the most effective strategies is to listen to audio lectures while doing housework, driving or exercising. Audio lectures can be a great way to learn and it can help you retain information better than reading text alone. Anyone who has ever tried cramming for an exam will tell you that they don't retain much from reading textbooks. Listening to audio lectures allows you to focus your attention on absorbing the information being presented in a natural way that doesn't require intense concentration or mental effort. Listening also helps when it comes time for exams because you don't have anything else distracting your brain from focusing on what has been learned earlier in class. Like if someone were trying hard not get distracted by their phone. Audio lectures are also convenient because they allow students who may live far away from their campus, or even across the country, access all of their course materials through any device with internet access or even offline by downloading them onto an MP3 player. 9. Get some exercise. Exercise is a natural productivity booster. Exercise makes you feel good and can help you sleep better, which means it gives your brain the fuel it needs to focus. Exercise also helps manage stress, so if there's something that's been keeping you up at night, going for a run or doing some yoga might be just what you need to clear the cobwebs from your mind and get back into work mode. 10. Set yourself deadlines. It may seem obvious, but setting yourself deadlines is key to getting things done on time. If you don't set reasonable goals and meet them, your life will be a never-ending stream of unfinished projects. You'll always wonder if you could have been more productive if only you had forced yourself to get a move on and get down to work. So how do you go about setting these awesome deadlines in the first place? First things first. Be sure that what you're planning on doing is actually possible within your allotted time frame. Then figure out how much time each task will take so that when it's finished, there's still some breathing room left before the big deadline hits. This will help keep procrastination at bay. If each step takes too long or requires specialized knowledge that isn't available right now, or worse yet, isn't even necessary, consider cutting anything unnecessary from your list altogether until later when everything else has been taken care of successfully. And remember, don't stress out over meeting some imaginary deadline. There are no bad consequences if something takes longer than expected because there's always plenty more where it came from. Just keep pushing forward until everything gets done at last. Remember, studying is supposed to be fun. If you're not enjoying it, try something new. You can always go back to old habits if your new strategies don't work out like you hoped. And that's it from this video. See you in the next one.